The 2025 Video Game Awards is set to go live December 11th at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, but we don't care. We're online. It is November 17th, so we have less than one month until that happens, which it all depends on how you feel about the Video Game Awards. I know the nominees are up for debates, at least amongst us gamers, us players, as to who gets picked and why they get picked. We'll go into exactly how that works, as well as the voting. Some of you may not know exactly how the voting system actually works for the Video Game Awards. You won't be surprised on how it works. It's very, let's just say, skewed in one particular direction and less so on a more obvious direction, but it makes a lot of sense because they can't really tabulate, I would assume, millions of votes from all over the world. They just kind of hone it in on a very specific group of people. So we'll get into that a little bit. But first, we got some interesting info just on who is nominated and the categories especially. So I've got two articles pulled up. We got one from Game Rant, the Game Award 2025 nominees revealed. They have the entire list on there. If you can get onto the website and start your voting, go for it. They just went live today. The website has been a little shaky. I couldn't log in the first time I got onto the website. I couldn't even get on the website the first time. It's just getting so much traffic right now. So you may have to wait a day, maybe a few days. All depends whether or not you can get on it and whether or not you actually care for it. I kind of don't care because unfortunately I've not been able to play a lot of games because reasons. So I'm still interested to look at it and see exactly who wins and more importantly who's up for nomination, because some of the games you would think get nominated in certain categories or nominated at all just don't show up, and you're just like, why? I thought their sales figures were good. Sales figures don't necessarily matter at all. It does get skewed in one particular direction over the player's choice, over the gamer's choice, even over units sold and stuff like that. That plays into it to an extent, but like I said, we'll get into who and how that goes down. So as we look into it, I'm just going to pick a few categories that I think are of note, that are interesting. There's plenty of I mean, all the categories are good to some extent, but if there's a particular genre of game that you don't care too much of, then you're obviously not going to vote for it. Or you could vote for whatever you want, honestly. So Game of the Year, this is obviously going to be the more important series of nominations, also the most important vote, which gets announced at the end of the show, as if I'm not mistaken. So regardless, top Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which unfortunately I've still yet to actually play. I know everyone and their mom and their grandma and their aunt twice removed love the game. I really wish I could play the game. I'm a huge fan of this style, turn-based combat. Also, I believe I know nothing of the game other than it's fantastic. So awesome. Good to hear. I would assume they're probably going to win Game of the Year, if not one of the other 12 categories that they are nominated for. 12 other categories. They, I believe, as of this current Game of the Year awards ceremony, this is the most a game has ever been nominated for all those categories. 12 is the most. Second place and third place, I think, are close. I think also there's a few games that have 8 or so nominations from the different categories. So some games really stuck out this year. Let's just be completely real. Number 2, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Again, another game I want to play, but I can't. Waiting for the PC edition at the very least, and I think it's a PlayStation exclusive. You guys may have to correct me on that, but and if that's the case, then I was never going to play it anyway. But since Death Stranding 1 came out on the PC, I'll wait for the PC until I get a new one. Donkey Kong Bonanza. You guys may have to tell me whether or not goated game or not so much. Donkey Kong. I saw that and I'm like, really? But if it's good, it's good. Hades 2. Now, this game I have played, and I can totally see this being on Game of the Year. So, awesome. Cool. Great. Hollow Knight Silksong. I think we can all agree. Absolutely. Still have not played the game. Full disclosure, still have not played the first game, but I hear all over the place. Fantastic game. Everyone was stoked for it. It did exceedingly well sales figures, and it still has a pretty decent amount of people playing the game, even as of now, I think. Let's take a look. Hollow Knight Silksong, 21,000, but it's a single player game. It's not meant to be played consistently, but it hit an all-time peak at release of 587,000 concurrent players. So I mean, fantastic number, especially for a game like this. So totally makes sense. And like I said, everyone Was super stoked for the release of that game, so that's great. And then finally, another game that I think I also can play and I need to play, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I know my friend Sam out there is super stoked for that. Probably is going to vote for Kingdom Come. Yeah, Game of the Year looks pretty stacked, I think, especially with Expedition 33, Death Stranding, Hades, Hollow Knight, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think, yeah, very, very stacked. Again, let me know if Donkey Kong was actually good. Like, if it's like one of the more goated Donkey Kongs that have ever Donkey Konged. So yeah, be sure to let me know on that one. I'm not sure. And then of course, best game direction, best narrative, best art direction. Claire Obscure is in every single one of those, as is Death Stranding. So there's a lot of games that got, or a very few amount of games that are in virtually every category. So good to see. I mean, consistency, I suppose, and they were goated, I suppose. You know, begs the question if whether or not we didn't have a lot of good quality games this year. Be sure to let me know in the comments how you guys feel about the Game of the Year awards as well as the nominees. Like, I know everyone's got mixed reviews, mixed understandings on the Game Awards. I think they were fun for the first couple of years, and now it's just kind of like, I'll watch it just to see. And I think it's less so the awards that they give to all these games. I mean, that's cool and all, but it's also a showcasing of releases coming out for the next year to see. Like, for instance, I wonder if we're going to get a GTA 6 trailer, the third trailer for the game during the Game Awards to, I don't know, kind of entice us after the fact that it got delayed from May to November of next year. So hopefully that's the case, but, you know, we do see a lot of reveals during the Game Awards, so that's also another part of it. Less so this, whether or not we agree with who got chosen for what, so it all depends. But yeah, Expedition 33, best performance category has 3 voice actors. Voice actors are also if they did motion caption, but whatever. Best performance was given. 3 of them from Expedition 33 are part of that, part of the nominees, which kind of wild. Games for impact, innovation, and accessibility. Best ongoing game. Yeah, you guys may have to tell me on best ongoing game. You got Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. Hey, Pachi. Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. I mean, sure, why not? But yeah, best online game, best ongoing game. Some of those picks are going to be interesting. I wonder, didn't Helldivers 2 also get nominated last year for something? I don't know. Some are definitely consistent, like Fortnite. Sure. Best independent game. Now, this one, I'm very interested in seeing who wins this. We have Absolum. I actually have no idea what that game is, so don't at me. Ball Pit, played it, fun. Blueprints, I don't think I played that one. Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. We're going to have to see which one on that. Kind of surprised there is no, what do you call it? Oops, get that out of the way. There's no Mega Bonk, but you know, it is what it is. So, the best indie debut, Blueprints, Expedition 33, Despolettes. I don't think I know that one. Dispatch, I've heard some good things on. It's that narrative one with a lot of the Critical Role guys in. And then, of course, Mega Bonk. So, indie debut as opposed to best independent game. Don't know why the split of the category, but it is what it is. Best mobile game, could care less. Best action game, Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I would say, let me know down in the comments too on Ninja Gaiden. I was interested in playing that. I'm not so sure anymore. I haven't heard anything pop off for the game. Ninja Gaiden's a good series, I would say. But I think it's got to be either out of Battlefield or Doom: The Dark Ages, maybe. Hades 2, yes, but also Battlefield 6 is doing really, really well. Number 4 on the Steam charts, all-time. Oh, no, that's 24-hour peak. All-time for Battlefield. Battlefield's been doing good. And it's been doing better than Call of Duty, which is, you know, all sorts of awkward. Dude. Release day. 747,000 concurrent players. And it's been maintaining over 250,000 ever since. It has not dropped. It got close. 257,000 concurrent players back November 13th, just 4 days ago. It has not gone under 250,000 concurrent players. So Battlefield 6 is doing really, really well. And then, of course, One thing that a lot of people have pointed out thus far is that there is no arc raiders on a lot of things. People are loving the game, and it's been going kind of up and up since release. Release, October 30th. Yeah, that's when it came out. Just a little over 250,000 concurrent players, 264,000 on release. It is slowly but surely been going up in the charts. It is recently peaked last night, just shy of 500,000. It's at 481,966 concurrent players. So Arc Raiders doing extremely well. I think if it came out a little bit sooner, it might have been nominated a little bit more often. I believe it's on here somewhere. Let me do a quick little search. Best multiplayer game. There you go. You got Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain. Sure. I know of it, but I didn't play it. So sure. Peak and Split Fiction. I believe, yeah, it's got to come down to, I think, Arc Raiders or Battlefield 6. Potentially Arc Raiders. I mean, let's be real. I did get the game, played it. I think it's a lot of fun. The game feels significantly less stressful on losing your things, even with the PvP component in the game, especially if you're doing solos. I felt more options, I would say, and I've killed a few people, and they've killed me. All right. I mean, that is the back and forth of the game, so I feel it. I've gone in and out of plenty of missions, plenty of raids, gotten my stuff, got outs, easy peasy. So far, I'm liking the game. It's a lot of fun. I can't run it extremely well on my computer, but it is what it is. Content creator of the game, meh, don't care. Best esports game, Counter-Strike, Dota, League of Legends, the same old, Valorant. Best esports athlete, best esports team, Best adaptation. I have not seen any of these movies. I'm not a huge fan of video game movies. I know some of them do it well. I don't care about too much of them. So, and then most anticipated game, we're going to have to see on this one. I would assume out of all of them, Grand Theft Auto 6. Just pointing that out. We got 007 First Light, which I am interested in. We got the Marvel's Wolverine game, which looked really, really sick. Resident Evil Requiem and The Witcher 4. But I feel like GTA 6 is going to take that one home, to be completely honest. Pachi, you're so cute and adorable simultaneously. But yeah. There you go. She'll like just going in between the curtains in the window here. But, I mean, yeah. This Game Awards is going to be interesting. But, yeah, also what I want to look up is, 12 nominees across 10 different categories. I'm looking at Games Radar article. The Game Awards 2025 has Claire Obscure Expedition 33 as the most nominated game in the show's history, which is kind of gnarly. Take that home as an award as well. While Arc Raiders is up for just one category, like we talked about, Best Multiplayer Game, which, sure. I think it could also... The narrative, not so much. Performance, you don't see too much of, at least relatively early in the game. It's pretty much just log on, go in and out of a few raids, hook up with some people or go solo, and just see what you can get done. Build up your base, build up your stuff, craft. Like, there's not too much to the game as opposed to something like Expedition 33, which I would assume, again, I have not seen anything of the game other than it's a fantastic game. That's all I got. It's pretty much all I got. It got... nominated for, like it said, 12 other categories aside from Game of the Year or including of, doesn't matter. So it just sounds like one of the most goated games. So that's all I need to hear. That's all I need from it. So anything else of note? Not too much. But yeah, Arc Raiders not being mentioned in or not being nominated for Game of the Year. I just think maybe it was too late. Expedition 33 has been out for a minute as opposed to Arc Raiders, so maybe Arc Raiders didn't have enough time to cook everyone's opinions to include it. Maybe just that. Maybe it also could be a little bit of bias because of the quote-unquote AI bits and pieces that are inside the game. We're gonna have to speculate on that. So, but I wouldn't rule it out completely. But yeah, also I want to remind you guys just how the voting and the nominations work and all that sort of stuff. So, quick search. Game Awards 2025 nominees have been announced. The voting is now open to fans participate in determining the winners. The final outcome for most awards is determined by a blended vote with 90% coming from a global jury. And you can find out about who is in that global jury on the website of over 150 media publications and creator outlets and 10% coming from public fan voting. I feel as if maybe that ratio can get a little fixed up, maybe, potentially. I don't know. Fans can cast their votes by going to the official website, Video Game Awards. You guys will find the official website. If you can log on to it, again, give it a day, give it a week. You'll have plenty of time to vote because voting is open now and it closes literally the day before the ceremony on December 10th. So plenty of time. Granted, your vote only counts 10% for the total outcome, but still. Voting jury selects nominees and winners based on collective editorial staff opinions, with each outlet submitting a confidential ballots. The public voting contributes 10% of the final vote for most categories. For most categories. I don't know exactly what most means, exactly like it says. Only a handful of categories, but not all of them. And yeah, so whether or not you agree with a lot of quote-unquote game critics' picks, choices, reviews, especially. I know we had some talking points over the course of this year about certain reviews by certain people about certain games for certain reasons. You know, that is one issue I can totally understand. People have their biases. I feel it. So again, this goes back to the beginning of the video talking about whether or not you guys actually care too much for the Video Game Awards because the voting and the nominations are skewed in one particular direction. So it is what it is. I totally feel you. I don't know if someone somewhere is going to do their own sort of Video Game Awards at some point where it's significantly less biased, but I don't know how you do that. All I know is that we have a Video Game Awards and it's a fun time. Sure, people might be upset about who wins something over someone else. I feel it, but then we get to see what's coming up next year for video game showcasings and stuff like that. So that's the stuff I'm more interested in. It's, you know, almost like a pseudo E3 in a way where you see upcoming titles coming out next year, some like surprises here and there. Some interviews by some people. I remember the one guy giving his interview a few years ago. I forget the name of the game, but you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Just cussing directly into the camera, cussing out all the developers, and had one of the most goated games and series of games that came out very recently. So you'll have fun stuff like that, totally. Maybe some orchestras playing some very good music. I mean, hey, you know, the show itself is not bad. Whether or not you care for the voting, the nominations, and the awards is another thing. But there's at least a little bit of a redeeming value from the Video Game Awards that I think we can all enjoy. So be sure to let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about this year's Game Awards, who you care for the nominations, who you care in general for all, or whether or not you're even voting for it. Totally feel it one way or the other. But yeah, dudes, that is it for today's video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys like the video, be sure to give it a like and be sure to sub for more. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Until then, I'll see you guys later.